in the Discord.
Right, we're live.
We're live. We love to see it. Let me make sure I can see it too. Yep. Looks like we are live. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on. See if anyone is joining us for today. Gonna drop a message in the chat.
Yeah, I'll open it and pop out the chat so I can have it over my streaming service as well. Because usually when I'm
Perfect.
streaming, there is a little tab that comes out the side that has the chat for Twitch, but it doesn't recognize YouTube very well.
Oh, yeah, I know YouTube streaming and Twitch streaming are two very different ball
Mm.
games. Let's see, we'll be starting our League of Legends stream shortly. Let me put that in the chat. My can I type faster than I can talk? No, not yet. uh, but we could go ahead and get started. No biggie. People will join in as they hear us. But let me also say, let us know. Oh, not me, skipping. Let us know where you're from. Can you hear me typing while I type?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay, perfect, good. I was like typing softly, but if I don't need to, that's good to know. All right, perfect. So we have some viewers watching. Shout out to everyone who's joining us today. I'm gonna go ahead and let RhexiRock introduce himself. He is our student that is going to be live streaming League of Legends with us today. So take it away, RhexiRock.
Hi, I'm RhexiRock. I also go by Ethan is my name, and I'm playing League of Legends. It's a game that I started picking up on at the beginning of this year, and I've been enjoying it for quite a while now. And I'm also a student doing computer sciences at University of the People.
Yes, we love to see it. We do have a lot of computer science students who are interested in gaming and esports. And why are you majoring in computer science, if you don't mind telling the group?
Well, I've been playing games for basically almost all my life, and back in high school, I needed to take another course when I entered grade 10, and I saw
Mhm.
that IT was a course I could take, and I was always interested in maybe trying out coding, and that IT course had some coding inside. I got addicted
Mhm.
to the feeling of being able to just type a few lines and then making something appear on your screen like that. And I decided, well, if I can take this and merge it with my gaming, it'd be something really interesting to me to be able to meld the two things together that I really enjoy. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of our computer science students, not only are they interested in gaming, but some of them are interested in making their own games or potentially working for, a gaming company in the future. So that's really exciting that you're able to use your degree and what you're learning to kind of improve your gaming knowledge overall. We have Monster of Hell saying hey in the chat. Hey, what it do?
hey, Monster.
um, Isabel and Habiba also said hey, and we have Mustafa watching from Afghanistan. Thank you for joining us today. And do you want to tell us a little bit about League of Legends? Just like talk to us about this interface that we're seeing right now.
Right.
Um,
League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena. So, the design of this game is basically you have two teams of five, and they each play their own role in this game. So, the role I'm going to be playing is jungle, in which I do not play in any of the lanes that are on the map. You'll find that there are three lanes. You have top lane, middle lane, and bottom lane, and they each have their own roles to play in terms of beginning to late game. Top lane is meant to usually be more of the tanky person at late game to try and just take the damage for the team. The middle lane is usually the in between of taking the damage and dealing it, and the bot lane usually has two people inside of it as opposed to the other two, which just have one person. The two people there is the support and what's known as the attack damage carry, and they are the guys that by the end of the game, the attack damage carry is supposed to have the most damage in the team to help carry the late game. My role as a jungle is I do not live in any of those lanes. I live in between them in what is known as the jungle, which has a bunch of creatures that I would kill to level up. And my role is to do something called ganking, where you go into a lane when the enemy least expects it and help my laner there by confirming the kill of his opposing laner.
oh. I'm like, that sounds so complex. And how long do you think it took you to kind of learn the in and outs of the game itself?
Honestly, the thing is, you can never stop learning with this game. There's always different characters that have very, very unique abilities that you have to learn how to counter, and you have to learn how to play around, as well as learning the proper timings for the jungle, because timing is very important in this game. So
Hmm.
it's more of just slowly getting the feel of what is familiar to you.
That's awesome. And what are you going to be showcasing for us today on League of Legends? Are you going to be doing, you know, ranked levels? Are you going to be doing like what specific thing do you want to show us today in your live stream?
I'm going to be playing just some normals. I'm not going to be doing any ranked. Normals are basically just the free-to-play versions where you don't need to worry too much about ranking or anything. You go in,
Mhm.
you play your character, and if you lose, you lose. That's just what happens. But you go in there and you just try and have some fun. I'm going to be playing Draft
Right.
Pick, which is a specific mode where you can see what the enemy will be picking, but you can also ban certain characters from being played. So that's um, it helps in terms of if you want to play a character and don't want to be hard countered by another enemy.
Right. That's awesome. I'm excited to see. It says 5v5 Summoner's Rift. Is
Mm-hmm.
that a place or is that just
Summoner's Rift is
the
what's considered the map that we're going to be playing on because you do get different modes.
That's awesome.
So we'll
I'm
queue up
excited.
and hopefully get a game.
Let's see. Gonna find our first match. I'm sure that RhexiRock is gonna do awesome, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. And honestly, what's one of your like most favorite matches that you've had in League of Legends before?
Uh, I don't know. There's many games where I've subtly helped to win the game. There's games where I've gone full out and managed to get as many kills and support the team as much as possible. But I don't particularly remember an exact game where I feel I did like
The best.
the best in. So I'm choosing who I'm planning on banning here. I'm planning on banning a very annoying character called Shaco, and he's someone who his playstyle is going invisible, popping out when you like least expect him. He's purely just a harass and disappear champion. It is very annoying.
Wow. I'm like, that's crazy that they have players like that in the game, and there are players that choose to play like that because
Yeah,
it would definitely be frustrating to deal with someone who always disappears.
I'm going to be playing my favorite jungler, which is Poppy. She's a
Ooh,
Yordle, which is a race that is usually like these small furry creatures with a good amount of sentience in them. They have their own little hidden realm that they live in. This character specifically, she was being trained by who was considered at the time a hero, and he was a human hero. And when he died, he said to Poppy while handing his hammer to her, find the next hero to wield the hammer. And she's been searching for years now, finding the proper person to wield this hammer, not realizing that she was actually the hero all along. So she's a very
wow.
humble hero that doesn't realize her strength.
I love that. I really do love that backstory. And do all characters in League of Legends kind of have like a prequel story, or is it kind of building along like in the game? Is it built in the game, or do all of them just have a story before they're
A
added to
lot
the
of
game?
them do have outside lore and story to them.
Mhm.
You can often see it also through the cinematics that they have for the characters on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Because Riot often releases some CGI footage of backstories for the characters, a little bit of like in the backstories you can also see some of their abilities being used as well,
Yeah.
because each
And I know you
character
were
has their
talking,
own abilities.
and that's awesome. And you said Poppy is it just the hammer that she wields, or does she have another special
She's got
ability
a
that
buckler as well, and her play style is very much immobilizing and shutting down.
mm,
Her play style is you gotta try and position yourself to get enemies in a place where you can pin them down, because her Q is where she's able, like when you press Q, she slams her hammer down and creates a little area where enemies are slowed in, and then that area explodes afterwards. So if they're slowed inside of it, it's going to be difficult for them to leave it. Her W creates a barrier around her that if any enemy tries to use a dashing ability into it, they get stunned. Her E is where she can basically charge at someone and pin them. If you get them against a wall, they are stunned. So she's very like anti-immobilizing or anti-dive and very immobilizing champ. And then her ultimate ability, she can cast it in 2 different ways. If you tap R, it knocks them upwards with a giant hammer that comes out the ground, or if you hold it, you can see that the cast radius would increase, and when you let go, it would fling them quite a distance away back to their base.
Wow.
So
I'm like, that's awesome. I feel like not I know all the characters obviously don't have the same ability, but I think that that ability is very useful to have. It says game still in progress. What does that
I'm
mean?
just
Is it
switching the thing right now to find the game. Hold on a
okay.
second. There we go.
See, we have somebody watching from the DRC. Hey, Daniel, thanks for joining with us today. And what was kind of like your start in gaming? Is League of Legends one of the first games that you started playing, or was it a different one?
In terms of computer or just in general in my life?
As in general, all your life.
When I was younger, when I was about, let's say maybe 5 or 6 years old, I got a PlayStation 2 from my parents. They bought that for me for a Christmas present. And my first few games would have to, I can't exactly remember which one it is because I got a bundle of games there as well. I remember I had Spyro, and then on Spyro was also a demo for Sly Cooper that I also played a lot, as well as a game called Killzone, which was basically a alternate reality kind of Call of Duty. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I'm like, I think my first like big console was PlayStation 2, but my first ever gaming that I had was a Game Boy, and I would play like Mario and all these like princess games and stuff like that on there. So it's really amazing to me now to see how gaming has really changed, because there wasn't really that many live streams when I was a kid for me to watch of other people playing games. I would see people record their gameplay and then upload it to YouTube or something, but not actually being able to live stream while you're playing the game. So I'm glad that we kind of have this lane for gaming, because it's really interesting to talk to people and watch people game in real time. Um, and Reem said, "Who is your main? Do you usually pick Poppy as your main go-to, or do you have another character that you sometimes choose?"
Depending on the role I play, in jungle I play Poppy as my main, and then I have other smaller characters that I play depending on what the enemy is choosing. So there's also a Mumu I play, who is also a short mummy who is also good at basically immobilizing the enemy team. And then in terms of support, I play this character here, Lux, as well as another one called Morgana, who is a fallen angel.
And are all these characters automatically included at the start of the game, or were they added on while the game was kind of, updating along the years?
Yeah, as the years have been going on, they've been adding more and more characters. And then also adding more and more skins as well. Samira is a newer kind of champ. She was released, I think, a year and a half ago. And don't know who else is kind of new because I didn't join that long ago. So here we are at the base of our team. This is where we go to heal up, and this is where we recall to when we need to buy items. So I'm going to buy the jungle item, Hail Blade. So the jungle's role in securing objectives such as dragons and barons or rift heralds. Dragons are meant to help boost the team in a specific way depending on what dragon it is. The jungle is supposed to capture this objective by using their ability called Smite, which deals a lot of damage to monsters. So we are supposed to be the person to get that final hit to confirm that objective is ours, make sure that nobody else on the enemy team can steal it from us. So it's quite a hectic job where we gotta get our timing perfectly on that smite to make sure that they don't steal it.
Yeah, it seems like a really hard job to have. It's always like I feel like with League of Legends, anytime I hear someone play it, like I always think, okay, you just know a lot about gaming because there's so many different obstacles and factors and variables that you have to really account for while you're playing. Reem said in the chat that for support, she plays as Yumi and Lux, and as a jungler, she plays Evelynn. Have you ever played any of those characters?
I started playing Yumi recently. Oh, I haven't been paying attention. I started playing Yumi recently. She is kind of difficult, even though people say she's pretty easy. I do find that she can be decently difficult. Because it's not just what she does is she attaches to a teammate and she stays with them to heal them, but you don't want to stay attached all the time because then you're kind of useless when you've used your healing ability and you've used your damaging ability. Then you're just sitting there on your teammate. There is things called auto attacking, which is what I'm doing right now to this monster, and then when I have to use an ability, I use it. So you get characters that do. Sorry?
What's this monster called that you're, looking them beating up right now?
The first one is my blue buff. So what that does is it will basically give me a high amount of mana regeneration. So because Poppy in the beginning can be a little bit mana heavy in terms of her abilities, I need to make sure I get that first. And then the second monster I killed was a Gromp, which is a giant frog that will give me health when I kill it. And also, they do all drop money and experience for me killing them as well. That's why I need to kill the jungle monsters, because that's how I level up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then the other people on your team, essentially, they all have different roles that they're concentrating on.
So everyone else, they're going to be in a lane that's fighting somebody else. And my job is to come in when I see that they're struggling a little bit and then help them get the kill.
Wow, that's awesome. I feel like a support character is really very much needed in any type of team fighting game, and a lot of people don't want to play the support character, but a support role is a lot of fun to me. We have someone, Forhad, what is going on here? Thanks for joining us, Forhad. We are here live streaming eSports to the UoPeople YouTube channel. A lot of our students are interested in work-life balance, and being able to have this way of de-stressing and having fun is just one way that we want to showcase some of the things our UoPeople students enjoy. So we're having RhexiRock here, a UoPeople computer science student, live stream to the channel and showcase some of his League of Legends gameplay, and he's doing a great job so far.
So I've just managed to get the first, no, not the first, but I just managed to get a kill. What happened was the enemy mid laner ended up killing our mid laner, and he went and retreated into my jungle. So I went in searching after him, and I managed to find him before he recalled back to his base.
So they can't get back to their base, then what happens?
Then they're going to be caught out. So when you are in this game, if you press B or if you bind it to anything else, you can start a channeling ability where you slowly teleport back to your base, and it can be cancelled very easily if someone hurts you. And in order to, you want to go back to your base so that you can buy items or get health and mana back, because you won't be able to do anything without health or mana.
That makes a lot of sense. And essentially, can you basically, can you or your teammates die at this point, or will you always be regenerated to the end of, or I guess back to your base until you finish the entire thing?
So when we're outside of our base, we can take damage, and as you can see, I'm half health right now from doing my jungle camps, which is what you call the areas where the monsters are. And then when you recall, you go back to that fountain I showed you in the beginning, but if an enemy tries to enter that, they are going to get heavily damaged and killed in like 0.5 seconds, because it does a lot of damage if enemies enter that safe zone.
And I'm just watching, their teammates are holding it down over here too. doing what they can.
And the Yasuo is level 6 already, which is scary because level 6 is where you can put your first point into your ultimate. So every time you level up in this game, you have a point that you can put in an ability to make it stronger or cost less to cast or less of a cooldown. And when you hit level 6 is when you can put your first one into your ultimate.
And I feel like you're pretty good at League of Legends. I personally don't feel like I'd be able to keep up with everything that's going on. How long have you actually been playing this particular game?
Maybe since around the... It should be about a year now, actually.
Wow.
But I haven't been playing like heavily in the time I have. I just recently started playing a little more serious. I think with the team they have, because the thing about this game is there's so many items that you can build specific ways of playing. I'm going to be playing using the items I'm buying more of an assassin poppy, where I'm not going to have as much health, but I'm going to be able to do a lot of burst damage when I catch them off guard.
And how do you basically learn which items you can put together to create what you need?
They usually... Sorry, when you hover over an item, they usually tell you more or less what the item does. So for example, if I hover over one of the ones I just bought, which is a serrated dirk, it gives me 30 attack damage. If I look at the abilities that Poppy uses, you'll see a little axe with orange text there. That means that ability scales and does better with attack damage than anything else. So that typically means I want to build items that give me attack damage.
That makes sense. And do you think you've watched any like other League of Legends gamers or streamers that you try to learn from, or do you just figure out your own gaming style and learn along?
Oh, I've definitely watched a lot of videos on how to play a specific role or how to play a specific character in a certain style. So it can be a little bit nerve-wracking in the beginning. I remember I was very, very scared to play normals, because normals is where you see a lot of toxicity in this game, and a lot of people are very quick to get aggro in this game.
Yeah, that's true. And I know with just live streaming in general, you do have your own live streaming. If you're interested in watching RhexiRock live stream on Twitch or on YouTube, you can follow either one of those social accounts. They're in the description box, so make sure to check out the description box for that information. But you know, how long have you been live streaming? And I know this is your second time now live streaming to the UoPeople channel, or first time solo though. But how has your experience with live streaming been? Have you dealt with a lot of trolls, or have you been able to find a great community of friends?
I've always been a bit smaller in my live streams, so I haven't had to experience too many people that are trolling around too much. Oh wow, I missed that.
Okay, you got plenty of time and options to do it, so I'm just really excited to this gameplay.
We could have gotten that kill, but Aurelia got really scared that the enemy jungler is coming up.
Right.
Aurelia could have commit.
That nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let her know that, like, if we had... We could have at least traded that kill and got something out of it, but...
Yeah, in all honesty, it's frustrating, but that's sometimes just what happens when you know, hop into a game. No one's a perfect gamer, even if we all try to be. So I think that's sometimes the fun part about gaming. It can be the bad part. It's still a lot of fun.
Sadly, we're at a bit of a disadvantage now because the enemy team is what we called fed, which means they've got way too many kills, way too much of a lead in terms of money and items and just the damage that they can do now. So we're gonna have to play very, very carefully to try and get back into this game. So for me, this means just farm my camps as much as possible, try and get as much money from them as possible, and hopefully by getting enough money I can try and I'm dead. I can try and just get the items to push through again. The enemy jungler, the one that's basically my counterpart on their team, is very scary because he has an ability that lets him just disappear into me to do damage, and if I can't pin him against a wall, if I can't pin him against a wall, then he's just getting free damage onto me.
That's crazy. I saw that you had him pinned for a second, but I was wondering, I was like, he's still getting points out of you, but I guess that's a really good skill to have. I'm surprised nobody banned that character at the beginning of the stage selection.
Yeah, so far it's struggling a bit here with the team as well, because in the beginning the team also just struggled to keep up with their counterpart and ended up dying a little too quickly.
Yeah, but at least, is it every time you search for a team matches you with a new team, or do they keep you guys together for a while before they match you with new players?
At the end of the game, you re-queue for another game, and they will give you other people. There's a chance that if you queue at the same time as these guys, you might get some of the same ones, but I don't think it'll try and keep all of us together. Unless you're actually in a party with them where you tried to keep together.
That makes sense. Wilfred asks, can we play 1v1 on League of Legends? Or is that only ranked?
If you're asking if like we can try and do 1v1s, I'd rather not. But if you're asking if there is 1v1s, there is. Those are in custom games where you'd usually have to invite somebody.
Okay, that makes sense. And Reem said, do you play ADC or bot line?
I play ADC or bot lane. ADC is usually in the bot lane. I play more of a support, which is also with them in bot lane. So because the support's job is to try and make sure that the ADC can get as much minion kills as possible, and the minions are these little guys, and that's how they get their money and experiences, by killing those guys.
And I know with just, playing League of Legends, have you been able to find, UoPeople students who play that you've been able to play with? Or have you just really been finding other gamers in the League of Legends community to play with?
I've mainly been looking at other YouTubers for this game than looking at UoPeople. I haven't found anybody else other than maybe Reem that said at one point that they played League.
Yeah, definitely. And, with, being a UoPeople student and learning about computer science and things like that, do you think you've been able to take any classes so far that's kind of helped you understand video games better, or like the programming of the video game a little better?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I was just concentrating.
I know it's hard to concentrate and talk. No worries. If you ever need to repeat, just say the word. But being a student at UoPeople and learning about computer science, have you been able to take a class so far that's, taught you more about the coding that goes in the game, or the mechanisms, like how much work actually goes into creating a game?
Yeah, after learning a bit from my Java course I did, they taught me something that is very useful when it comes to making games that can speed up a process, which is, instead of trying to create something in terms of, say you have an object like say this character, right? Instead of trying to remake it every single time in terms of coding, you can have something which is an object that you can basically copy from to paste again when you need it to. So you have all its item sets built into it already, all its data built into it, and you just copy and you can paste a new one down. And that's something I learned from that with classes and objects and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think that's really convenient because, sometimes, like, at least when a lot of students that I knew were kind of learning about computer science, they kind of learn more about the math side of it and the programming side of it. But it's cool that you are actually able to learn about Java and then get a specific tip that'll save time and energy when you're creating your own game one day.
Hmm.
Uh, Wilfred said, do you know your rank? Draven?
Draven is a character in the game. He's the one they're throwing the axes. I haven't played ranked yet. I'd rather wait until I can play a little bit better before trying to play ranked, because I remember when I started playing Overwatch, I tried playing ranked in there when I was not really prepared for how the game works, and I ended up getting placed in a very low rank, and I found that every season I tried to get higher, it would first start me out in the rank that I was last season. So if I get stuck in a low rank early, I'm basically stuck there.
Wow. And that kind of sucks, because everybody has a bad season or has a bad, game, and you don't want to be stuck playing people in that rank just because you had a few bad games for that prior season.
I'm gonna try and get a gank here and help my teammates. Oh wow. We both missed our abilities there. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. I'm like, honestly, this is the first, game that you played today. For those of you just joining, thank you for joining us. This is our UoPeople computer science student, RhexiRock, showing us his gameplay for League of Legends. This is the first match, and he's been holding it down regardless. So I think you're still doing. I mean, obviously, I'm not that in depth or well, informed on League of Legends, but it looks cool from my end, so I'm having a great time.
We can still. There is a decent chance we can come back from this. We have. They have 21 kills against our 19 kills. They're not too far ahead. And I can see they're busy waiting for this character to bait him, but it's not working out too well. Wait, actually, they just got a double. They just got a double kill. They're actually amazing.
Wow.
So
Their work.
I think I'm gonna leave them to do what they're doing there and just continue farming safe. We've got the dragon up soon, which we kind of need now because I've accidentally let them take 2 dragons, the enemy team. So I need to make sure that I can get this one. Because there's a point where if the enemy team or your team gets enough of a dragon, you get something called a dragon soul. You see these little dots at the top of my scoreboard. When all of those are filled up, you get the dragon soul, which does a very specific thing for the team. This one will give us chain lightning damage on the enemies we damage, so it hurts other people as well. There's Yasuo. Be careful.
And what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out with League of Legends, maybe has never played before, and potentially might hop on and go super overwhelmed when they're trying to pick a character? What would you tell someone who just wanted to start off with playing League of Legends?
Mute everybody all the time. Because and I don't mean to say it as in don't listen to your team. There are times where very often your team will just get mad and start raging at you for no reason, or you make a little bit of a bad play because you're new and they're going to as you can see here already, we've got someone that's starting to rage, asking one of our teammates to just go AFK because they're being more useful that way. And it's just how it is.
It's not an easy game.
Yeah, it's not an easy game. People are going to rage at you, and as soon as someone starts showing a little bit of toxicity, just mute them. You're better off doing that than actually trying to fight them.
Definitely. And Reem said, in her opinion, League of Legends is more complex than Valorant, and maybe that's why she plays Valorant as much.
It is very complex, and they've stolen my camp. Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's a thing called counter jungling. Is when you know the enemy jungler is dead and you know that there shouldn't be anybody in there. You go in, you steal their camps because it's free money for you and it's no money for them. It's a counter play.
Wow, like they just thieving out here. Ooh. Rupert said my buddy said jungle's different.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. This is definitely a game where the enemy jungler is just the better differential here. Just they're better than me right now.
But still, I'm like, everybody has to start somewhere. I think that's sometimes people's fear when they start gaming, especially that's my fear when I start online multiplayer games, being able to, maybe I don't know how to mute it or I forget to mute it and then somebody's like yelling at me while I'm hard because I have no clue what I'm doing. So I think that's a really good piece of advice. Those of you who are interested in live streaming, interested in potentially live streaming gameplay for League of Legends, go ahead and mute the rest of your teammates until you get a little bit better, because you don't want to just get discouraged, because nobody starts off anything being the best at it.
Some things are
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a lot of learning to do, and
Yeah,
you just gotta try not to beat yourself up way too much. They used the gate out. I did manage to get a kill there, but the other one got away, which is the sad thing here.
Oh,
okay, I admit it. I'm lost.
So there's the Drake that's currently the last few ones to come up before Soul should be happening is a new one that they added, which is a Hex Tech Drake. And the thing, each Drake does something to change the map a little bit. This one adds these little portals between jungles, and I'm not a big fan of it because it can be abused very easily.
definitely. So, can anybody move those portals, or are they just placed there automatically?
No, you can't actually move them. They're just stuck there. Jeez, he melts me.
He said, I knew where you were. I'm coming for you.
He did so much damage.
Wow. And that's the only thing. I feel like being a support character, you can really help out so much, but sometimes on the attack end, it's a little bit harder to match up to somebody whose character is all about being on the offensive.
So I tried to do something that the team can do when they feel that they're not going to win, which is surrender. It just ends the game early. You don't have to go through too much torture. But the team apparently did not want to surrender because, I don't know, they're jacked up on hopium or something because they think they can win the game.
At this point, it's a high price to pay.
Yeah, I need to start heading towards the Drake now because that's going to be up in 36 seconds.
And typically, how long are the matches for League of Legends? Is it like, I mean, obviously we're playing one match right now, but usually team matches, how long do the team matches go for?
Depending on how much your team is doing damage, a game can go between 15 minutes to up to sometimes even 40 minutes.
Wow.
Because if a team just gets really strong really quickly, the enemy team will just surrender. They don't think they can come back from it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it seems like the team you guys are going against is full of stubborn people, and they are not gonna quit. So it should be interesting to see how everything plays out.
We really need to get this team to come help on Drake, but now they're playing around, and we could have baited them, but yeah, this is a problem.
Well,
Why did guys not go Drake? So now they have the soul.
Oh no.
And that means when they damage an enemy, they also strike them with lightning, dealing something called true damage, which is a very scary type of damage because it ignores any type of armor or magic resistance items you build and just does it straight to your health.
Wow.
Yeah. Because usually in this game, because there are people that do magic damage and there are people that do attack damage, I'm an attack damage character. People can build items to try and counter that. that give magic resistance or armor. But true damage is something you can't build resistances to, because that's why it says true damage. It's true to your health.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. And I know like League of Legends is the game you're playing currently. Would you say that's your favorite game of all time, or just one of the games you enjoy playing the most?
It's a game I enjoy playing. If I was talking about my favorite game of all time, it would have to be Portal 2. Because I think I've played that game maybe 12 times over. So I just enjoy the puzzle aspect, but with the good storytelling as well. Yeah, they won't be on Baron. Oh, why are we pinging that? Baron is something that's the one way we can get back into this game. Baron Nashor is this big creature that if we kill, it gives us the ability to charge up our minions to do more damage. It lets us recall to the base in 3 seconds as opposed to the 9 seconds. It's a very, very good thing to help us end the game quickly. That's not good. Oh, she got the kill. That's amazing. We needed that.
Yes, we love to see it. What would you say I know you said you played Portal 2 like 12 times. Do you think that's the game that you spent the most amount of hours playing?
The most amount of hours I would say is either Overwatch or Squad. They're gonna take that. That's not good.
Oh no. Not they got the dragon in.
And the Baron, yeah. This is bad. Okay, we got those kills at least. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And I think Mordekaiser's dead. Yep, he was ignited.
I don't think you mentioned what platform are you playing this on?
I'm on PC. I'm not sure. I don't think you can get this game on anything other than PC and now mobile, because they released Wild Rift, which is a mobile version of League of Legends.
And is it free on mobile, or is it like a paid?
The game is free, and the only way you'd have to spend money on this game is if you wanted specific skins quickly, or if you want to buy masteries for champions, which basically is a stat tracker, which shows how much of a certain thing you've done throughout playing this character.
Wow. And do they?
Yes.
They usually have like holiday events or you know, special types of skins that only come out at certain, you know, times of the year, or is it just you can buy any skin that has been available?
They do have they do have holiday events. Not too much special game modes. There are some game modes that they've done that every now and then make its return. One that came back recently was Ultimate Spellbook, which is quite a hectic game mode in the sense that it replaces one of your summoner abilities are 2 spells that you can take no matter the character. So for jungler you'd have to have smite, and then to get away from fights or get into fights you'd have flash because it's such a strong spell. But in Ultimate Spellbook it replaces one of those with another character's ultimate. So then you'd have 2 ultimates to use, and that's why it's a hectic game mode, because so much can happen at once.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just so cool. I feel like games are so vastly different from each other that everyone tries to learn their own style of gaming, regardless of other streamers and things like that they've seen. I think everyone has their own kind of gaming strategies, which is really fun as well. And I know that you live streamed before. Do you prefer streaming on Twitch, or do you prefer streaming on YouTube?
I like streaming on Twitch because I feel there's just a lot more tools that you can use in terms of moderating things, adding to your chat, interacting with your chat. It just feels like there's just more customization there than YouTube. We're about to lose this game, I think, because Samira has backdoored, which means she, like, while fights are going on, she goes around the side and she starts destroying our base without us realizing until last second.
Oh wow.
So she's gonna get away because she flashed away. The thing about flash is it's got a long cooldown though, so at least she doesn't have it now.
My hammer's too big.
Yeah, she won't be able to do it again.
They're gonna go for the Elder Drake now, which is one that gives a lot of money and also I think a little bit of a damage boost. Not too sure.
Mm-hmm. You guys are doing a great job so far. I think the teamwork has been semi-good. I can't exactly say. Definitely still looking really good on my end.
Yeah, I don't see that the software is struggling at all with the stream. Uh-oh, I'm gonna die now.
Yeah. And I know, Poppy uses her hammer to battle and all those things. But what's your favorite weapon that's used in League of Legends?
I'm not too sure. There's so many different weapons because you can't actually swap weapons between characters. But I guess you're talking about just what weapons that the characters are using. Draven's got some cool weapons. He's got spinning axes that he throws at the enemies that bounce back to him with an ability. Mordekaiser's just got a giant mace that he swings around. But I don't know, I wouldn't say I have a particular weapon that I enjoy a lot in terms of just looking at it and seeing how cool it looks.
One thing about me,
That's awesome. And I know usually you play support for League of Legends. Is that your go-to role for all games, or is it really just like you like playing support with Poppy on?
I like jungle a lot, and support is... I go back and forth between, do I want to play jungle, do I want to play support? It's what I currently feel at the moment, and jungle so far is what I'm playing a lot more of nowadays. There's a huge fight going on here. That's not good. We've lost that fight.
Oh no. You got your monsters killed though. You've been carrying that out quickly. And do you usually prefer like solo on League of Legends, or do you do team matches typically?
I like teams because I just feel that oh jeez, I feel that with a team, if you make a mistake, they can help back you up as well, and you know, help pick you up when you've fallen down a bit.
Very true. A game like this, it could be overwhelming to play alone.
No, we lost. I wasn't concentrating too much in the beginning. I should have been concentrating a bit more, but it's all right. I'm gonna give, at the end of the game, you're supposed to honor a teammate, or you can just skip it and choose not to honor somebody. But I'm gonna give it to the support for managing to not die as much.
I like that they give you a way to honor them. And what do they get when you honor them? They just get like
they get a little bit of an
extra
experience, like extra experience towards their level, and if enough people honor them, they have an honor level in their profile over here, and when they get all 3 checkpoints, they get a little bit of a loot bag that they can open for either new champions to unlock or some skin shards, so that they could potentially buy a skin without having to spend money on it. Ooh, so in this game, you get blue essence and you get riot points. Riot points are the paid points for this game, where you actually have to put physical money in. Blue essence is just the little in-game currency that you get just by playing the game. And then you get orange essence, which is used for skins. So blue essence you can use to buy characters, because not all of the characters will be unlocked for you. You'd have to play a bit, get some blue essence, go into the shop, see a character you might want to get, and then buy them.
okay, that makes sense.
I'm gonna try an Amumu game and see how that goes.
Let's see. I'm excited.
Amumu is a lot of fun because he can toss out a bandage from quite a while away and then just hook onto an enemy and pull right to them. The distance closing with this character is amazing.
I love that.
And because of that... Yes?
I'm like, there are so many characters.
There
Like,
are.
have you played every single one of them, or you
Not at
just
all,
choose?
no. There are over 150 characters in this game.
Wow, that's a lot. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
honestly the most I've heard for any,
Mm.
like, especially because characters, it takes them years to build up, but 150 characters, some games only release a new character like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, it's
I have
crazy.
never.
It's very
Yeah.
crazy. Um, so with this character also, another nice thing is because you throw out a bandage, you can actually throw them through walls and hook and go to the other side of the wall. So it makes clearing my jungle really quickly because I don't have to go and pathfind around the wall to get to them. I just toss it through and I'm right there.
Yeah.
So the
That's
quicker I
awesome.
can clear my jungle, the quicker I can help my laners.
Wow. That's really cool. The amount of different ways that the support characters have their own kind of special abilities. Most people think, oh, you're just supporting by, boosting somebody else's, EP, but a lot of times you are actually helping carry the team to a stronger victory by supporting them in some way.
Hmm.
Hey, Miss, thanks for joining us. Hey, hey.
I'm going to try a specific type of build for a Mumu, which I like to call a max burn Mumu. So I'm going to build items that have burn effects on the enemy, and that kind of can count then as an anti-heal because you get some characters that heal from damage that they do. So because then usually you'd build items that actually are meant to stop healing with a status effect called Grievous Wounds, which reduce incoming healing. But if I'm playing with 4 things that can burn an enemy, it can basically do the same thing, but also give me extra damage at the same time.
Okay. Wow. I'm like, they really put a lot of thought into each of these characters and,
No, and the
how
items is
they're
what also changes how you play the character as well.
exactly. And that's crazy because there's so many different combinations of items you can use for
Mm.
each character. So you're really everyone kind of is playing their own character within the 150 characters that are already offered. So
Yeah.
really that combinations are endless.
I've got to be careful now because the enemy jungler is a Talon, and he's meant his whole backstory is he's an assassin. His ability is he can jump over walls, and instead of taking Flash to disengage in fights, he took Ignite as his summoner spell other than Smite. And that's scary because he can jump over a wall when I least expect it, do some damage, ignite me, and then run away. And then he'll just let me burn to death with that Ignite.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Yeah, it's
He said, I'm gonna just do this real quick and leave you to burn.
yeah, exactly. This game quite often with the way people play, it's like who can do the cheesiest thing and just get away with it.
And that's honestly awful sometimes,
It
but
is, it
also that's
is.
part of the
Especially
sometimes
with
it's the point of the game.
Talon and Shaco, because they both are characters that want to try and get into the enemy jungle when he's busy just trying to do his thing. They don't care about their own
Yeah,
jungle a lot of the time.
that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm learning so much. I'm gonna be like an expert at League of Legends, and I can talk to my friends about it after this. But I know like League of Legends isn't the only game you play. What would you say, or who would you say, got you into gaming? I know you said your parents bought you your first console. Were you interested in gaming before that, or was that kind of your first entrance to the world of games?
I didn't quite know about gaming before I got the PlayStation. It was my parents that bought it for me, and then when I tried it is when I started really enjoying and understanding what gaming was. But then as years went on, I basically didn't play as many games anymore because we had a little bit of a financial issue throughout my earlier years of my life, and ended up having to get rid of a lot of the stuff we had. And
Yeah.
when I was finally told by a friend in primary school about a game called Minecraft is when I installed it on our little office PC we had at home, and I realized, well, gaming is fun. Like, this is actually really, really cool, and I got really addicted to the game. I would
Yeah.
often spend up to 8 hours just playing Minecraft, and That was
Wow.
eventually what my parents decided. Okay, well, if you get in trouble, that's your punishment. We're gonna take your Minecraft away from you. So that's usually how it went for me.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like everyone usually I was really into gaming, or just watch. I was fascinated by it, but I didn't really get obsessed with gaming until my mom got us our first Game
Find some
Boy.
friends.
And I think that everyone kind of has their first. I think everyone can find a game that they like that could really get them obsessed with gaming.
Mm.
And it really is just an interesting thing to do for fun, as well as just to learn about things. Because there are some things that I learned in a game that I wouldn't have been able to know about if I hadn't played that game. Like I even remember one time when I was younger, I was playing The Sims, and one of my Sims like caught a red herring that was a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And literally 2 weeks later in class, I forgot what book we were reading, but they brought up the mention of a red herring, and my teacher was like, "Does anyone know what a red herring is?" And everyone's looking around, and I raised my hand. I said, "Yep, it's a fish," and I knew that. I
That's
knew
a
that from a
fish.
video game. So I wouldn't have learned some of the things that I know today, really, if I hadn't actually seen some of these things in video games and even League of Legends. People
Mm.
might think, "Oh, you're not gonna learn anything from League of Legends," but the name of things, the titles, the anything that you really find out from a game
Oh,
can really be applied to something new that you're learning about real life. So I really do enjoy the amount of, or at least from what League of Legends has, the amount of customability or like customizing and just combinations of possibilities that you can make with the characters and the weapons that they use.
Mm. Yeah, there's so much customization in this game as well with how you want to play a character. There are so many items as much as there are characters, and they each do their own unique things as well. Because items have not only just the base stat effects that they give you, they're going to have some secondary stats. Like I said, you can build an item that gives you some mana and gives you some attack power, but at the same time also does something called Grievous Wounds, where it reduces the healing that enemies would take, and that's another kind of stat for it. So there are also just not only the base stats for items, but also just extra things for them.
Yeah. And I saw you use the I think it was the band that you called it, or whatever the rope was to pull that character up earlier. What are you heading over to do now? I see this character you're fighting.
I was trying to get something called the Scuttle, which is that little crab that
let's find some friends.
that will give you sight of the river when you kill it. And the reason I wanted to get it so bad is because if you look on the map, there's a little red squiggly. That is a thing for one of the characters on the enemy team called Kindred. And she gets more power when she kills the creatures that have that squiggly mark on them. That's why I wanted to get it so bad, because if I got it, the character wouldn't get stronger.
Wow. It's really just like the thing, everything is there, and you guys have to make sure the other person doesn't get it, or else their team essentially is gonna win, which is gonna be really hard to do, especially when it seems like the team can sometimes.
No, help me, Shen. Help me.
You got this. And we were talking about earlier before the live stream. I know you said League of Legends has music too. You want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the music that's included in the game and outside of the game for those of you who might not know.
Yeah, so the music itself isn't played inside the game unless you are playing a character that has the skin for the look that they would have in the music videos and stuff. And even when you hear that music, it isn't any vocalized, it's usually just the instrumental version of it. For example, if you played a character such as Seraphine or Kaisa or Ari with a KDA skin, you'd hear a soft instrumental version of the song in the background while playing them. But otherwise, on YouTube and on Spotify, there are the songs that Riot has gone and created using the personas of their characters to do specific genres. So there are some characters that do some K-pop music, which is known as KDA, There are some characters that do hip hop, which would be true damage, and then there are some characters that they've taken to do heavy metal, which is pentakill. And what they do then is they take the likeness of the character and they bring in some real life singers and animate the characters with these singers voicing them.
That's awesome. Reem said that KDA is her favorite. Do you happen to have a favorite out of all the
I'd say it would
bands
also
they
be KDA. They do have some very, very good music.
I love that. And that's really interesting. I feel like gaming, Reem said especially KDA, All Out, Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn is meant to be the bad girl that likes to break the boys and toy with them, and that's...
I love that. That's energy. So time, because I think that especially a lot of people don't realize like music is a big part of gaming. There's a lot of money and time that goes into the sound effects and the soundtracks that they use for loading screens and everything in between. So it's really interesting to me that they're going from not only talking about gaming, the music within the game, but now they're using characters from the game to create new music from nowhere. So I think a lot more games should do that, because I would love to see some of my favorite characters, even if it's not their voices singing, just someone's nice voice singing over them and just seeing them in a whole new light, because there's a lot of different things that you can really do with gaming. And I've been able to watch a lot of different like League of Legends, like cinemas and different fan-made trailers and things like that. So it's always interesting to see how creative people can get with a game that's already creative in itself.
Oh, I hope I don't die. Oh, I just barely made it.
Oh,
Ooh, Talon tried to kill me again with Ignite, but I managed to get away this time.
yes, we love to see it.
So the reason this character can be very scary with the burn is right now I'm building an item called Leandri's Anguish, which is deal up to 12% bonus magic damage to champions based on their health, and also dealing damage with abilities causes them to burn for a percentage of their maxed health. As well as another item I'm going to be building is Demonic Embrace, which also causes burning on the enemies. Plus, I've got runes, which are basically extra things you set for your character to make them also have very specific builds. In my rune, I've got Scorch as one of them, which also does burning damage when I hit enemies. And then also my W is a burn as well, because when I press it, you'll see a little pool of tears around me, which burns enemies. The thing about Amumu is he's known as the sad mummy, because he was suddenly resurrected and he can't touch anybody because he's got a curse that every time he goes near somebody they just fall apart into sand, and he always is just looking for a friend but he can never find one.
Yeah, because everyone disintegrates around him. Pretty hard to make a friend that way.
Exactly, that's why his ultimate is called Curse of the Sad Mummy. He basically has a tantrum and breaks down, and that's what usually kills the enemies.
Wow, that's awesome. We have Sparkle joining us. Hey Sparkle. Sparkle says that they like mobile games or PC games like PUBG and PGMI. Reem says that she plays PUBG too. I know a lot of people play PUBG. We do have one person on the eSports team that will start streaming mobile in the new year, so make sure to always come back to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe to our videos so that you can see more eSports content mobile, on PC, and on console.
So we tried our best there. We managed to get one kill, and I think we can get another, but we didn't know that LeBlanc was there, so she might actually end up getting the kill on Samira here. Nope, actually they got away. That's good.
Yeah.
I was hoping we wouldn't feed the enemy team a bit more. So now we're gonna try and start Drake. Oh, that's not good actually. They're not gonna be able to come help me. I need to go help them.
Got this.
was a good bomb. So Ziggs 3's ultimate out, which is basically a bomb he throws down that will land wherever he chooses to aim it, and manage to get an enemy in there.
Okay.
Why didn't you help me, Shen? Why did you...
I'm like, he's up pretty high. Where's this? Yeah, calling over. You're holding your own though. The dragon will go down eventually.
Yeah, I had to use Smite to be able to get some extra health there, because Smite does give me health back when I hit them with it. But I was a bit risky there trying to do it early, because usually you use that to get that final damage out.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna mute the chat of some of these guys. I don't know. They're speaking what looks like Spanish, and I'm afraid they might be saying some bad things in another language, so I'd rather not risk it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have no, yeah, I feel like I probably should learn a little more Spanish, because a lot of Spanish speaking people in Houston, Texas, but sometimes it's hard to find the time to learn a new language. That's for sure.
Right, so my mistake from last game has now been rectified. I've used Smite enough to upgrade it, because the first item I bought, that blue little knife thing you saw me buy in the very beginning, you're supposed to smite a certain amount of times with it to upgrade your main Smite ability that now does 900 damage as opposed to 450, which means I can use it a lot sooner and do a lot more damage with it.
That's great. Basically doubling the damage.
And it has a very special effect against using it on champions as well. When I use it on a champion, which is another player, it will slow them down and make them run slower. So if I need to catch up with them, I can do it by smiting them now. This Shen has been struggling a lot against his top lane counterpart.
But you're holding it down. It seems like this team's working together pretty well, luckily.
I gotta go help protect this turret.
You got it. And you're heading over. I see you using your, I don't know, is it rope? I feel like I asked again. But...
when you see the big wave come around me that stuns everybody around me, that's my ultimate.
Okay.
That is meant to stop everybody in their tracks and help the team just get the most damage while they can't move. But sadly, I couldn't push any further because Talon is there. So if I pushed any further, he would have caught me out and killed me. It's scary because there's a mind game aspect to this thing as well.
Definitely. But it's very enjoyable, honestly, being able to just pick out, and I think throughout the match too, you're basically upgrading yourself and the amount of damage that your actual attacks do, which makes it interesting and kind of keeps it interesting, because no one is going to start off with the same amount of the same weapons or even the same abilities throughout the match.
Okay, I'm just scaring them away now. I tried to use my flash to like teleport to them and use my Q to get into them and stun them, but I missed my Q, so at that point all I was doing was killing the minions to help push the wave into the tower.
Oh wow.
So that they didn't push it back into ours and start damaging our one.
That makes sense. But you're chasing after him. Get him. I see you.
Check if Talon's around, maybe see if I can do some counter jungling. Steal his Gromp real quick. Shoot. That's not good.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. You can get out of here. There we go. Just managed to get out. Oh, here's Kindred though. Nope. So, I used my ult to stun them and then used a blast cone, which is a plant, to knock me over the wall. I can't speak right now.
It's okay. Honestly, you're over here doing two things at once. You're talking and you're doing well and killing them.
Uh-oh.
It's working. It's working.
Wow, she actually killed me that fast. Ouch.
Wow.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
She's probably been leveling up all game.
Yeah, let's see what she's building. Exactly. She's got Luden's Tempest, which does a lot of... It helps a lot with your ability power, which is what mages use for their damage. It's got Magic Penetration, so it ignores a bit of my... any magic resist I build. She's got Dark Seal, which means for every kill she gets, it increases her ability power a bit more. So it's a very good item if you know you can get kills and scale nicely.
Wow.
Okay.
And they've now used the Rift Herald mid in mid lane, which is a little creature that runs for turrets and destroys them quickly.
Oh wow.
They're gonna go Drake now probably, so I might have to start moving that direction. But I'll see what I can do.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
They're probably taking it by now.
Yeah.
Let's find some friends.
No, last second, almost had it. If these guys, I don't know, the bottom lane right now is asking for assistance all the time, but then when I actually need their assistance, they're not giving it.
Gotta give and take, especially on a team game like this.
I'm not getting any help. That's cool. I don't think they win this fight. No, they definitely don't win this fight. And Ziggs is still just pushing mid without helping us.
That's the thing too. Sometimes when you're playing with team games, it can be a little bit harder when other people don't want to offer the same assistance or support when you need.
Yeah. I don't know how much we can come back on this game, to be honest. We've started falling behind again. We had a decent start and then they started snowballing with damage. See, here's a thing I can show you with a Mumu that's pretty cool. This is how quick he can be at clearing his jungle and just queue over the wall like that from quite a distance.
And so interesting too. Like you just went straight into the monster.
Oh wait, I managed to take that. Uh-oh. 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 We got him. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm so close to dead.
Let me give you a
Oh, that was close. So I caught him trying to steal my blue buff, and we managed to get the kill as well, and I managed to get my blue buff before it was stolen. So that was a win there.
going.
Wow, I love it. I'm like, regardless, even if things are going bad, things can still go good.
We need some support here because they're gonna start pushing way too much in this turret. I don't think Shen should have gone in alone like that. Yeah, he really should not have pushed that alone.
That was correct.
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Friends.
An ally has
Now
been
the game
slain.
is ensuing.
Yep. I'm just gonna clear this wave because they're just gonna start pushing us a bit.
You got it. Loading up that ultimate, taking them out.
Right, I got my ult ready, but they've been fighting here. I don't think I can take them all out, so I'm not strong enough yet. I needed more items, but because I've had to help so often, I haven't been able to do much farming.
Exactly. A lot of
And-
your teammates have kind of been running straight into.
Yeah, like Samira, she should have just got out of there, but she stayed for way too long. I'm gonna take my red soon, but so the red buff, what that does is it gives me some good healing outside of combat, as well as when I hit an enemy, it burns them as well.
Oh.
So I should actually get that for now 5 things that can burn. But they're having a fight now, so I should go help them.
Got you.
No, what? How did it? Okay. I almost, like, didn't get the flash over the wall there for a second.
I'm glad you did. Yep.
Ah, I don't think... Oh, no, that's not good.
Everyone's doing their ultimate right at the same place.
And I'm ignited. Now I can't help. I need to go and help top lane now. There's just so much going on. They're all over the place.
Always hard to keep track of everything. But I feel like once you learn the game a little better, it feels a lot easier doing it.
Ah, missed that.
Let's find some friends.
And for those of you who are just joining, hello, thanks for joining us today. We are having our final esports live stream for this week. We are streaming or having UoPeople students stream their gameplay to the YouTube channel, since we have, you know, all of us are trying to keep a work-life balance, and we want to be able to showcase some of the other things that our students are interested in seeing on the channel, and we've been able to do that with some of our great live streams so far. If you are just joining us, make sure to check out the description box and subscribe to RhexiRock, one of our computer science students, on Twitch and YouTube, so you can check out some more of his gameplay for other games outside of League of Legends as well.
They kind of got away here.
Getting close though. And where do you see the score points again for how many kills each team has? Is it the one in the upper right corner?
Yeah, it's the upper right corner. You'll see 15 to 31. So blue is our kills and red is their kills.
Oh wow, basically doubled up.
We can get him. We should be able to get him here. He's going for me though.
Wait. Support here.
We can get him. Almost. No, why? Oh, we've got just the tank and the like support left, and he's also building tank. So they don't have the damage enough to kill him in time. But we've got an ace, which means everyone on the enemy team was killed there.
Oh, great.
So hopefully we can push this a little better. Trying to figure out what I want to build next. I think I know what I want to build next, which is Abyssal Mask, which is when I hit enemies, it reduces their magic resist, which is perfect for my burn build, because from reducing their magic resist, my burn actually does the amount of damage it needs to. Because if they're building magic resist, then my burn isn't burning as much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So let's see if I can go get my red and then help mid, because mid needs... We need to get rid of that kindred. Oh, there are lots of enemies here. Coming to help. Please tell me you get him. Okay, cool. Now, if she goes away really fast, we're not going to catch her. Let's. Please don't push too far.
Are they listening? Oh, they're listening.
Yeah, we need to be careful of one person just pushing way too far and end up killing himself. We've got Tom Kent, who is once again split pushing, so he can basically try and backdoor again. You just buy on the suggestion page. Yeah, that is something you could do. But I'm trying to go a bit more of a custom build, so I don't want to go with what the suggestion page tells me.
It's good that they have an option for the suggestion page for people like me who have no clue
So
what is the best thing for the character to be using at the tournament?
Suggestion page usually takes into account what character you're playing in what role and who you're up against, and it tries to give you items that will help you counter certain champions or just do better against certain ones. And a lot of the time they are good ones. They usually are what you could use, but when you really want to go something specific, then suggestions will not help you there.
Yeah. I hope there's like an update in the future or something, if you can maybe like tune the suggestion box to what you would like the character to have. Because I think that it's a really good idea to also have, you know, the algorithm choose or help you choose what weapons or what combinations of weapons you're going to use. Because there aren't a lot of them and there are a lot of characters. So everyone, like you said, you haven't even been able to play every single character. So people who might not know like what would work well against another character might be able to get that extra bit of help before they hop straight into game. Especially for 1v1 games, it might be a little bit easier for team games, since anyone else can help if something goes wrong.
Yeah, this game is very focused on team game, on like relying on your team and making sure that you play your role properly.
Yeah.
But luckily you get some people that are actually just so good at the game that they can play the role to support the other roles even better. Like you get some guys that are so good at jungle that he outshines the AD carry who's supposed to be doing the most damage in the game.
Wow.
I gotta do Drake, everyone else is not here. Because we can't let them get another one. See if I can get this in time. I got it. But now I'm trying to get out of here without dying. Uh-oh, uh-oh. No. Don't touch me. Hope he doesn't jump over the wall. Okay, we're good. I'm just gonna clear this because this is a lot of money from these minions.
Yes.
But
Secure the map.
they have done a thing to make sure that jungles don't just go after minions all the time for easy money. There is a thing where if a jungle has killed more minions to get more money than they have their actual jungle, they actually get a gold income reduction. They don't get as much from anything anymore for a while, until they actually kill more jungles than minions. So they have thought that out to try and stop jungles from just constantly stealing money from the lanes.
Right. That makes sense too, because I feel like it can easily become a thing where people are just, you know, I'm just gonna focus on my XP and make all the money I can alone.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm glad they have to kind of combat that so everyone actually is doing their part to help the team win.
Now we're gonna try and get Baron.
Okay, there.
We gotta be careful though, because they can try and steal it, but we managed to get that now. So we get a decent amount of money, and now with it we also get empowered recall. So if I try and recall, you'll see it goes a lot faster than normal, but now teammates need help here. We get increased ability power and damage, and as well as we can make the nearby minions a lot stronger when walking with them. The Ziggs might get caught out, so I'm gonna go see if I can help them.
You got this.
I have my ult, so I could potentially ult them.
I know this is another match that we're playing. It's almost 10:30, so this will be the last match. But for anyone who is joining us, what would you want to tell them, you know, about League of Legends or about gaming in general if they weren't here at the beginning of the live stream?
Yeah, so League of Legends very focused on your team compatibility, how well you can work with each other, how well you know your role to do the things you need to do. So with my role that I'm playing, my role is to help the lanes by giving that pressure of coming in out of the blue and making it a 2v1 situation for the enemy, as well as helping to secure the objectives on the map to help boost our team's damage and just give us an edge over the enemy team.
So it's very much team player. You have to be, well, at least you are a team player, you know, for the actual support role. But it's really interesting to kind of like throw yourself into a completely new battle and have to play with people you've never played with before. I think that really does build adaptability you would need in real life for, say, a job where you have to work with people.
Exactly.
You've never worked with before.
People think gaming can be a waste of time, but I think the decision making that gaming gives you, as well as just having to learn how to quickly have compatibility with the people you're playing with, just is so good in terms of real life situations as well.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it really builds your character quite well.
Enemy killing
Yeah.
spree.
Agreed.
Yeah, they took their blue. Let's see if I can take their wolves without anything happening to me. I might have to now at this point, now that I've got a bit of health, because I have some items that also give me some health and magic resist, I might start trying to side lane and get some pressure by pushing another lane that the enemies aren't in.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how it plays out because I feel like you guys are coming back pretty well. I think there's still a possibility for you guys to...
We are starting to get some kills. I see now, because you can place down wards in this game which give you vision of an area. I just saw now 3 people were in this river and I think they're coming after me. I see there's Cled over there. So I think they're trying to chase me now, but I don't think they know that I got out of there.
No, exactly.
I know why they're there. They're setting up for the dragon. Oh shoot.
Bless you.
That's a Tom Kench.
And since everything, how have you been able to balance, work life, I guess, school life, and your gaming life? Do you set like a gaming schedule for days you do stream, or the days that you do play your games, or do you just kind of figure it out along the way?
I tend to, because the work releases on the Thursday, I like to have my weekends free. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't do any work. I leave that just for some fun time, some relaxing time. Then when it hits Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I stretch out my work across those days so that I don't tire myself out. And then I leave the learning journal part for the Thursday because that's when it's due. And that way I stretch my work out so much that I don't have to worry about being tired a lot, because it's not a big issue to get everything done at once. And then once again the cycle repeats where I have my weekends free and then just move on to the next week.
That's great, honestly. I know a lot of people do have a hard time with, managing their work and their lives to especially to game, but I think that the plan that you have, kind of making sure that you give yourself days to do work is a lot more convenient than trying to, I'm just gonna game 6 days out of the week and then I'll do my learning journals and the assignments I have 1 day out of the week. It's really all balance.
I'm very lucky because I don't have parents that try and force me to go get a job when I'm just sitting around a little bit, because not only do I spend my free time playing games, but I'm also doing extra coding on the side just to make sure that I don't get rusty and still learn some new things while not doing actual studying there.
Yeah, and that's honestly great. I think that a lot of people don't realize you can learn a lot of things online for free, especially if you're interested in gaming more or just learning about coding and things like that. UoPeople is already tuition free, so you're not paying that much to get your degree here, but you also can really hone your skills a lot more if you spend time outside of the classwork, searching for the skills that you want to actually achieve and taking the time to practice that, whether that's coding or writing or anything else you might be interested in getting better at. It really does take your own time and dedication outside of the courses you might be taking to get better at those things.
Just gonna let my team know that they're probably going to go and Baron while we're all dead, because that would be a perfect time to where they'd know they wouldn't get any person trying to take it. But Ziggs is alive, he does have his ultimate, he might be able to throw a bomb in time and steal it. But there's only 2 people doing it right now, so they kind of made a mistake here. Oh, here's Talon.
Everyone said he wished that we had a game development degree. I know you're majoring in computer science. Do you think that anything you've learned in your, I know you talked about it earlier in the stream, but for those people who are just joining, do you think there's anything you've learned with your computer science degree that is going to help you with game development in the future?
Yeah, there are a few things I've learned in coding that has helped me just do my my game development side a little bit easier. She does a lot of damage. There are just some things that even in just usual programming you can easily apply to game development as well, because they're both doing programming. Even if sometimes you have to deviate a little bit on how you think about things, because one is just making a program display something on the screen, and the other one's trying to take so much more input and logic and all kinds of other stuff, but they a lot of the time do use a lot of the same structures.
Yeah.
Ooh, she does damage.
Yes.
Wow. Sadly, I got caught out again. There was 3 people fighting where Samira is now, and when I tried to come around the side so that I could try and catch anyone that would be trying to help them, I did catch the Talon. I managed to kill him, but then Kindred was following right behind him.
And is there a maximum amount of kills you can get per game, or does it keep going?
It keeps going until the game is over.
What's the most important kills you've gotten with the team while playing?
I think the most I've gotten, let's see, I think the most I've gotten is like 16 or 17. Oh, wow. And that was a decently long game as well.
I love that. I'm like, it's really fun, the amount of things that we can do.
I think we are pulling back quite well here. We are able to win this game if we just play it safe.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice, we got their tank, and with their tank on, when we're having a fight, hopefully our tanks don't keep focusing the enemy tank, because that's what they've been doing every fight. And that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, not at all.
That's the whole point of the tank, is to try and be the distraction and take the damage, but we don't want to just focus on the damage taking person.
And it's so interesting. How many maps typically are in League of Legends? I know you said you prefer the jungle map, but how many are there total?
This entire place is one map, which is Summoner's Rift, and then you get another game mode called ARAM, or I don't know the actual full-on name for it. But ARAM is one lane on a bridge where every character starts out at level 3 with 3 abilities unlocked already, and you just try and push as much as possible down one lane. We won this game. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then there is a subsection of League of Legends, which is also its own kind of game called Teamfight Tactics, which is basically if you take the champions of League of Legends and then chess and you mix it together. You get a board where you have characters that you buy and you place them down like chess pieces in the positions you want to play, want them to be, and they will go and fight the enemy's little characters they have on their chessboard, and you're basically like playing God with these characters by moving them wherever you want. It's quite cool.
The amount of innovative ways they have to think of gaming.
It's not turn-based. It's just an all-out brawl when you have round after round, and then with that you keep buying the characters based on what trait you're going, because each character has 2 or 3 traits to them, And when you have enough of that certain trait, you unlock the level of that trait, and they have special things that they do. For example, one that I remember is, I think, the Chemtech trait. When you had that, your units would start healing further into the round if your units are still alive after a while. Maybe next time I do this, I could show you one TFT game and see how that goes with you guys.
Yes, definitely. We will be having more live streams in the future. So please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you can check out whenever we do have one. And thank you again so much, RhexiRock, for streaming with us today and showing us, basically teaching us all we need to know about League of Legends, because
And
it's
just
very
to
important.
show you something here, out of the entire game, I was the one that did the third most damage, and then I did the second most in my team. That was a lot of damage done.
Yes, and that's awesome. Even in the 2 games, you were able to improve, which is really great to see.
Right, yeah, that's it for me. That's all I have to show this session, but I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I really hope to see you guys next time, because this was fun.
Yeah, it was. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, check out our description box if you want to follow RhexiRock on his Twitch or YouTube channel to watch some more of his gaming live streams. And I hope everyone has a great day or night, depending on where you are in the world. So thanks everyone.
Till next time.
Yes. Bye.